Hey guys, this is St. P Daddy again. 2 videos in one day. That's a record for me. I normally don't take the day off just to divulge into my own personal work. Um, so here's the deal. And this is not to Mr. Fruitbat, as this conversation has been going back and forth for almost a couple weeks now at this point. I'm writing a subjective view on choice, and it's basically a very large compilation of a lot of controversial subjects, or at least controversial in the way that a lot of people feel very, very strongly about. Very few people are neutral on these topics. Abortion being the big one, religion, the second biggest one. And recently, after watching a couple of videos on Mr. Fruitbat, I decided to add his take into the mix. Now, if you don't know what subjective view means, it means you are looking at a topic from a neutral standpoint. You are looking at both sides of the story, which is what I try and do. Here's the problem with YouTube, though. Anytime something like this goes on, i.e. A healthy debate on insert topic here, where the two opposing sides are not opposed to each other, just the views. Mr. Fruitbat has been kind enough not to insult me or my intelligence, and I hope that he feels the same way, that I'm giving him the same courtesy. Going back to what's wrong with YouTube, the comments. I am all for everyone's right to express whatever opinion they believe in. However, I am going to read off some of the more recent comments, and just know that I just posted this video a couple hours ago, and already there's a couple of winners out there. So let's go over a couple of them. Keep in mind, anytime I ask certain questions or propose certain situations, being the amateur writer that I like to consider myself, I'm 90% sure. I'm 90% sure of what a certain type of person is going to say, because that is how a writer is supposed to think. From a subjective view, I never want to assume anything. Am I comparing non-sentient organisms to sentience? No, of course not. What retard would? But I want you to hold on to that thought. Okay, so here's a winner. Posted 51 minutes ago by T-Bay Guy. Basically said he stopped watching halfway through and then went on this long rant about how he's mad and this, that, and the other thing. Here's an exact quote from him. I stopped watching halfway through because when people talk about killing microorganisms and veggies, feel pain, so who are we to kill them, etc. I just want to grab the guy's head and smash it into a wall. Fair enough. You go on to state that I wish he would just say something, say a nonchalant sentence, I like meat. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video was to engage Mr. Fruitbat and get him to answer my questions and comments, because, like I've said before, I run into younger people, assuming, like yourself, that just get angry and upset and butthurt about me having a different opinion than you. Moving on, actually, before I move on, as a side note, I live in Colorado. Anytime you would like to, quote-unquote, smash my head into a wall, you are more than welcome to try. But, that has nothing to do with this video. Moving on, Mr. Don Matez posted about an hour ago, called me out on something. Okay, I used the word suicide incorrectly, at least grammatically speaking. He's absolutely right. He goes on to pick apart that part of the argument. Fair enough, I was wrong, and I will admit that freely. This is the part that really gets to me. People will take one situation and then place it next to the most extreme situation they can absolutely think of, and the only comparability they have is struggle or suffering, i.e. PETA, placing, superimposing pictures of stacked dead pigs next to a picture from the Holocaust. Okay, that's just irresponsible propaganda, plain and simple. You cannot argue that. You cannot tell me I'm supposed to care about pigs or animals, regardless of how I feel about the situation, more than I should what happened in the Holocaust, the horrors of that. And if you think I should, I've been to Dachau. That's just flat out creepy. He goes on to compare what I said to the struggles of slavery and misogyny. Now, I am kind of a misogynist. I am very old school. I believe the wife should stay home, take care of the kids. Man brings home the bacon. Or if you're vegan, brings home the celery. That's how I was raised. I was in the military for a very long time, and I'm sorry, I'm hardwired to work like that. To Mr. Don Matez, I'm sorry, but comparing what we do to animals as a choice to the horrors of our history, again, that is just downright irresponsible to think like that. And if you doubt me, I suggest finding a black superiority group, i.e. the Black Panthers or what have you, and explain your side to it, to them. Good luck. Moving on to a Miss Aubrey Johnson, and he talks about me using the using the evolutionary survival of the fittest argument. And he goes on to state, that's how we can justify cannibalism. Survival of the fittest, not just an idea that should be separated by species. Okay, that is a hole in that argument. Find me an argument that doesn't have a hole. And I'm talking about anything. Anything. And it's actually kind of funny he would say this. Survival of the fittest idea is not just an idea that the better species will survive, it is also that the better members of every species will survive and reproduce. Honestly, from a pure logical standpoint, I 100% agree with that. Now, that is a different video for a different day, and I will definitely delve into it if anybody would like to hear my thoughts on that. But it worked for the Romans, it worked for the Spartans, and it worked for most of the Orient for thousands of years. Now, granted, there are a lot of holes to that, but I think we would not have the problems we have today if we were a little bit more selective on who we thought should live and who should not live. That's just my personal feelings. This comes from Vegan Life Martinson, and she left 2 comments. I will go on to the first one she left. People really need to look into what survival of the fittest means before they use it. They keep misusing it. Either way, great debate. Well, thank you, Vegan Life. I know exactly what it means. I have written quite a few papers on Charles Darwin and natural selection and sexual selection and survival of the fittest. And honestly, in today's day and age, it can't really be applied effectively, but there is some serious thought to it. Or at least there should be. That is how I feel, and if you were paying attention earlier, I would have explained that a little bit better. And again, Vegan Life Martinson, 7 minutes ago. I have to give it to the St. P Daddy. He was very polite, and his concerns and comments were the norm with meat eaters. But he was cool and collected when asking. Cool dude and cute dude. Cute too. All he needs to do is go vegan. Well, thank you very much. I can't tell from your profile pic much other than you're underwater. What is the norm that meat eaters think and say? And what is the normal stereotype? Are the two questions I'm going to pose to you. Define what the normal statistical meat eater says, like myself, and then I want you to think about what the stereotype is. Okay? Cool dude and cute dude. Cute too. All he needs to do is go vegan. Well, if I have to go vegan to date you, it's not going to happen. That'd be like a liberal and a Republican getting together. It's just probably not going to happen because I won't give up my bacon, nor will I give up my guns. Here is one that is just asking to troll, and it is just the stupidity and troll level in this comment is just through the roof. What about the millions of human abortions every year? Could that compete with the chickens? Has nothing to do with this discussion. If that is what you were thinking about, please take it somewhere else. Couple of other people, but I will post videos directly to them because they were actually very interested in what I was thinking, or how I think. And just to be clear, I want to make this perfectly clear to everybody who's watching this. I proposed certain questions because I didn't know exactly what he was going to say, but I knew in ballpark what he would say, and also he would deliver it in an intellectual and calm, cool, and collected way. That is why I brought up microorganisms. Okay? That is why I brought up survival of the fittest. And hopefully this debate between me and Mr. Fruitbat will continue. I'm actually getting a lot of good stuff. If you are interested in what I'm writing about and would like to put in your 2 cents, as long as it is intellectual, we'll say, then by all means, give me your 2 cents. I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, this is St. P Daddy signing off. Bye.